Welcome friends, it's Dan as normal, and today we shall be looking at dungeons. And this will be your general guide to dungeons. Now the first thing you want to do is find a dungeon, of course, which I've already found one. My house which goes underwater. So this is one of the first telltale signs of a dungeon. If you see this mossy cobblestone is what it's called, then that's what normally lines the floor of a dungeon. And that's normally the most difficult bit about dungeons, actually finding one. They spawn naturally underground, so all you really have to do is look for one. You don't necessarily have to mine to find one. They sometimes appear on the surface in little rock dig outs. And if I come here, oh, casual zombie, skeleton even. Oh, and I've just broken my sword, so I'd better create another one. You'll see why in a minute. Right. Now that we've got our sword, I'll show you the dungeon I found. It looks something like this. Okay, so you see the floor of the dungeon is lined in this mossy cobblestone. It started to fade away on the top, but that doesn't matter. Now what you see here is a monster spawner. The little cage with fire is the monster spawner, and whatever is inside it is what's being spawned. So this one's a zombie monster spawner, so zombies will spawn in this area. And you also get 2 chests with every dungeon. So if you look inside, this is one of the loot chests. Some bread, some cocoa beans. You can't find those anywhere in the game other than dungeon chests. Some wheat, some gunpowder, 2 lots of string and a bucket. If you look in the other one, we have some cocoa beans, some redstone, some bread, some iron ingots, and a saddle. And the saddle is also another thing which you can't find anywhere else in the game. And that's just one example of the things you can find in a dungeon. So we can just loot those to our inventory. Just gather all of those up. And that's now very useful for us. So these are empty now and they won't respawn or anything. And I'll go and show you guys another dungeon now. And here is the other dungeon, guys. As you can see, this one is one that I just found in the forest. And if you follow it through, you can see that it's just got this normal rock protrusion, and then you run into this mossy cobblestone again. But this time you can see with the monster spawner that this one is a skeleton spawning monster spider. And you can also hear that we're above chickens. And I've already looted the chests for this dungeon, but it had very similar loot to the first one. And other kinds of loot you can expect are kind of along those lines, sort of other things which you can also make. However, other things which you can find in dungeons which you can't get anywhere else include record discs, so that if you have a jukebox you can place your CDs in it. And those are the 2 dungeons I've found. And that's your general guide to dungeons. Of course you want to, when you're entering these dungeons, enter with caution because the monster spawners will spawn monsters. And you can also find these dungeons within natural mines that spawn within the map. If you've ever seen them, they've got lots of wooden posts and lots of wood around them. Generally they might also have minecart tracks, such like that. And you also get dungeons that spawn in them. Right guys, as normal, thank you very much for watching. I would be very appreciative if you would subscribe to my channel and like us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/diamondbreedyoutube. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you found this really useful, and post any questions or comments you have. Thank you.